Your chapter should be goal setting. Your leadership team, I hope you guys are meeting every month. That's part of the system. Having a leadership team meeting every month. Having reports from the different departments that are within. We have ours the last Thursday of every month. It's about an hour and a half lunch, and we go right down the list from president right through event coordinator. Our chapter had an event coordinator before B&I had event coordinators. Simply because we got to the point, and it wasn't for Visitors Day or things like this event here. It was because we wanted to hang out with each other, but we wanted someone to organize it. And being chapter president, I didn't want to have to do that job anymore. So we created an event coordinator. But again, it's getting the value out. It's doing the small things and doing them well that's going to lead to your overall success. There is, go ahead.
Quick question.
Sure.
After your group got chartered, did you get to a point in the recruiting where you kind of plateaued and had some difficulty?
Yes, 75. I swear to God. No,
what's the goal for your group ultimately? Is that your goal point, or?
That's boy. You know, this is my thought on that. And I talked to Dr. Meisner about this at a conference. And he says the optimal chapter size is, he believes, somewhere around 50. Because there is like a bell curve with it. And at about 50, 55 members, the chapter is really going along smooth. You're not so big that you have to add in added layers of management like we've had to do. Just to get through the meeting, just to get through all the stuff you got to do as a chapter. And your referrals are screaming. Probably on average, a chapter 55 would probably pass almost as many referrals as we pass. It just seems to be a very harmonious number. But my personal belief is that next person that comes in as a visitor could be your best source of referrals. It could be my best source of referrals. So, is there a number that we put on it? No. I read a blog last night that said, if you're not having 3 visitors a week at your chapter is not growing. And I think it was by Dr. Meisner, but I'm not positive. It was on a blog, and I'm not sure whose name was at the top. I was reading it on my phone last night. And the reason for that is because of life changes and people moving on average, a chapter loses 1.85 members per month. So to have 3 at your meeting every week is 12 visitors a month. With your closing ratios that most chapters have, in order to continue to grow, you need to have 3 new members a month, which would average out to 3 new visitors a week. So all chapters hit that at some point where there's not enough visitors coming in, there's not enough new members coming in, and there's people, because of life changes, circumstances, people moving on. So we've kind of hit that number. We've bobbed between 70 and 75, I think, for about the last year. Up until that point, no, it was just 5 visitors every week, 5 visitors every week. And because of the type of chapter that we have, our closing ratio is a lot higher. There's a lot more value. Visitors, another reason to have a larger chapter. Visitors see more value in a larger chapter. You're going to get more bang for their buck, if you will. The same $430 is going to buy your membership in my chapter than it will in another chapter. So, but I think we finally hit that number where I don't know if we'll hit 80, maybe we will. I do know this, that the underlying philosophy, and I talked to you guys about this, it's creating a culture for your chapter. And what's your culture going to be? I picked up a definition last night, and I think it was awesome. It's the shared set of attitudes, values, and goals and practices that characterizes an institution or organization. What does your chapter want to be known for? One of the things that helped us over that 35 member plateau that we hit for a little bit was we got involved and we did a community project. We repainted a YMCA Child Development Center in Norwich, and we got a lot of great press out of it. And that let the community know that 1, we existed, and 2, we were willing to give back. We created a great relationship with our local Chamber of Commerce. And by that I mean, we brought them a lot of new members. And when we finally brought them a lot of new members, they started sending people back our way. they know that if you want to grow your business in the Norwich area, if word of mouth referrals is important to you, or if you need some business coaching along the way, you should go check out that group, Rose City B&I. They do a lot of that. They've been instrumental. We have a cleaning service that's in our chapter now. She's been here for about 6 months. And she said that since she's been in our chapter, her business has grown threefold. I mean, she was small, but she's tripled the amount of work that she has. Now has to add in these layers of having a little bit bigger company. She has to know what employees are, payroll, doing a payroll, adding benefits. So these are things that she's learning, but she wouldn't have had the opportunity to if she wasn't able to grow her business like she did. Yes?
How do you control, how do you dance parts with that many people?
I spend a lot of time.
Time.
Time. And when you come in,
An hour, or with each one, or what's the process?
I mean, a one-to-one in our chapter is the same as a one-to-one in your chapter. How long does a one-to-one take you? Hour and a half?
Yeah.
There's not much going on in Norwich.
No. Right.
I think you bring up a good point. When we talked about doing dance cards, one-on-ones, whatever you want to call them, when I set aside time for somebody, and a lot of times I do like to have lunch with someone, because you're actually involved in, and you're going to sit there for a while and nobody's going, oh, it's got to go, it's got to go. Set up the time when you don't have to worry about where you're going to be next.
Right.
Because the more time that you're sitting there worrying about where you have to be after this meeting, the less time you're going to be paying attention to the person across the table from you. That person's going to tell you not only about their business, who their best client is, but if you talk to them long enough, you're going to find out why they're passionate about what they do. And you find out someone's passionate about their business, I guarantee you will find a way to refer them a client.
Absolutely. You talk about working that system. What do we have that came in our MSP manuals? Dance card planners?
Yeah.
How many of us use our dance card planners? Let's see. How often? Everyone. And do you find it helps you get through more information?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You're kind of taking all that small talk out of the way, like, so how long you been married, who are your kids, which is all great stuff. And that might actually lead to referral or lead to part of your conversation. What I love is your last 10 customers. Who have your last 10 customers been? What are your best prospects? What are your lowest common denominators? That's all stuff that you can come to and get pre-game plan for that.
One thing though is just how many kids do you have, how long you've been married. It's not on there, but it's important
It is.
to talk about because that's trust building and that's commonality.
Well, that is on there, because you have a bio sheet. Because you have the bio sheet with it, right?
It's not really focused when you think about it. Look
No.
at the space on the form.
Yeah.
And the like.
But it is
shouldn't
important.
be glossed over.
No, it should not, never be glossed over, but it kind of helps you, like you can walk in and say, so you have, 2 daughters and a son, you kind of know their ages, and you already have that common ground there. So again, that's working that system using the dance card planners. That'll help you get through those dance cards a lot quicker. How often should you be doing dance cards? Dances. With the same member. Let's say you got all the way through your chapter. So how often should you repeat the process?
Once a year minimum.
At least once a year. For those of you that are in related fields or in power team spheres of influence, I suggest it like once a month, because your business will change. What you're working on this month might have changed from what it was last month. And if you guys are doing business with one another, you're going to want to stay up to date and really know each other's businesses intimately and what they're looking for. Yes?
I was wondering, when the meetings are over, and how do you communicate among 70 people or 75 people